Well, what did and that's where you met Geraldine, was when you were going to that little lunch place? Was it a restaurant or what was it?
It was like a s- uh, they served lunches, and we just go for if you went and you didn't take any money or anything. I don't know what the deal was there.
Well, that was nice of them to give y'all lunch.
Uh huh.
Well, so what was Geraldine doing? I mean, did she come up to you and say, "Hey, my name is Geraldine," or how did it go?
Nope, I don't think. I don't know. I don't remember.
Well, it's funny. A little girl when I was in living in Homa, and I was in first grade. A little girl came up to me and said, "What should I eat first?" And I said, "I think I would eat the meat first." And I know her on Facebook now. She's real nice. And she had pictures of me and Mark from the newspaper. So she must have liked me all these years.
From the newspaper,
Yep,
from like for Boy Scouts or
yep,
something.
from Boy Scouts. And she had pictures of Mark and Brian from the kite contest.
Oh.
Isn't that funny? I'll find her and I'll let you see her name on Facebook. But
Good.
that's what I wonder though. You got to remember what she said or what you said that made you become friends. It's first grade. You go to this place down the street, and next thing you know, you're eating not at the schoolhouse, but down the street from the schoolhouse. And then all of a sudden, you're best friends with Geraldine.
Well, she didn't live that far away from me, and I remember her mother saying, "Well, she was jealous because I wanted the dresses made like hers,
Yeah.
and she didn't like that."
But how did you meet her in the first place? Because I think the jealousy about the dress wasn't until much older, wasn't it? Like in
Yeah,
high school or something?
yeah, it was sixth grade or something.
Oh, okay. But in first grade, I'm dying to know what you said to Geraldine or Geraldine said to you that made you best friends for now 70 years or 70 years. I tried to call her 3 times today and she's not answering. I hope she's all right. You should have been calling every day and talking to her, Mom.
I
But,
will.
well,
But what she's done is that she has her husband died a long time ago,
right.
and so she has
Her boy's taking care of her.
uh well, she takes care of them.
What?
Well, because she lives at home, which is down the street from her son,
Oh,
and she when they come in at night, as I understood it, she cooks supper for them.
oh, well, that's nice.
Uh-huh.
You need to cook supper for me. Uh-huh. We'll get you started on that again, but we got to get your old legs working first. Well, okay, so we're not going to remember how you met her in first grade, but that is new about about how in first grade sometimes they took you down the street to eat at the And you
It
said,
was, it was at a like a, a place. I remember it exactly. It was a building that was about a block away from the school, and we would go down there and have lunch, and then we'd have to go back to the school.
well, but that seems like it must have been a big room to have a whole school full of kids.
Well, it wasn't whole school.
Oh, it was just your class, maybe?
Our class would
Oh.
go, and then another class would go, and
Oh.
it would rotate.
So that was, you say you don't remember what kind of building it was, though, huh? You remember what it looked like and everything, but you just don't know why they were giving out lunches to little kids.
Yeah.
That's a funny thing. I like that, though. That's a community working together to take care of the school kids. Well, okay. So then, what about if you can't remember exactly how you met Geraldine? Do you remember? Oh, we could ask her when you talk to her if she ever went to the to get the to sew with your mom. To get under the table and sew or watch her sew.
Well, I don't think so, because her mother taught school
Right.
every day, and so she wouldn't have gone.
And she would have only gone if her mother was there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, so then you were by yourself under the table while they were sewing the quilts.
Uh-huh.
That's interesting. Okay, well then, how about if you were going to school every day? When did you go to take your dad lunch at the cotton gin?
Well, that was earlier when I was little.
Oh, so it was before.
Like I was like 4 years old or something.
Ah, so that was before school.
Uh-huh.
Well, okay, so then.
And there was no houses along the way or anything like that we would remind us of where we'd been or something. And so we just walked down there and took him his lunch.
You didn't have to walk through the houses like you did to get to Geraldine's house?
Nope. And Geraldine didn't live there. I don't know where she lived.
Well, you didn't know her yet, not till first grade.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. So then, I wish I could remember what the question was we wanted to ask. Was Geraldine in your band class?
Well, she was. And I remember how she played this brass big play phone or
A tuba?
a tuba, something like
Or,
that.
or what was it? The kind that wow, or was it the kind with the buttons on it?
It's buttons on it,
Oh, okay.
and it had and she played that, and then when I went to the other grade or something, she went too. Yeah, so
she quit?
uh-huh.
Oh.
She quit band,
Oh.
and she went over to join the group that was going away from band.
Spanish. Dad says Spanish.
Huh?
Was Spanish where y'all went when you went away from band? You went to Spanish class?
I think so.
That's what Dad thought. Well, okay. So then, how about when did you first get a horse?
A Porsche.
A horse.
Oh. Well, we borrowed Jimmy Gill's or James's or
James's?
we borrowed Jimmy Gill's horse when we were riding out to Lake. That's when we first had a crush on Don Smedley.
Oh,
We would ride out by Don Smedley's house.
well, so, but like the first time you ever got to ride a horse, do you remember that?
No, but I remember that we slid off the horse and down into the gully
Huh?
because the horse, had on shoes, and he slipped and fell down in the gully.
That sounds dangerous.
It was.
Well, what, were you both riding on the horse at the same time?
Nope. One, I was riding on the horse.
And she had her own horse? Wow. And how old were you then?
I don't know. I guess 11 or something like that.
Really? So your mom might have been sick by then.
Uh-uh. Uh-uh. No, I remember her crying all the way to the hospital.
Who?
My mother.
Whoa. So you were in the car when they drove her?
Mm-hmm.
What was she crying about? The pain?
Well, she was crying about everything.
Oh, because she had to go to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what? She just never went home after that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Dog.
And that's when I was still asking for a bicycle. And when they showed me finally the condition she was in, then they showed me her body, and I went out and sat on the floor in the hallway, and I guess that's when I found out that was going to happen. I don't know.
Doggone it. Well, was Geraldine around at that time? I guess that was, a family time. You didn't really.
Mm-hmm. And I was still in grade school or something.
Huh. Well, how did the band teacher find out that your mom died?
I don't know.
She must have known more about you than you thought.
Maybe so. I don't know.
Well,
That she did.
yeah. She came up and gave you a big old hug, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, so let's see. When you finally got a car, what was that like?
A card.
A car.
A car. Oh,
You must have got a Ford, huh?
no. It was that black car.
That black Oldsmobile, they gave you that one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's interesting. What, did your dad get a new one?
No, he didn't get one. And they were standing out in the front of the car and the yard, and they said, "Well, you don't even know how to drive that car." When I get back,
You mean they were waiting for you when you came back from driving it?
uh-huh,
Well, you showed them.
yep.
Well, how did you learn? Did you just figure it out on your own by watching them or something?
Well, it was the only thing you had to do was shift it.
Yeah, but you had to push down the clutch and let it go
Oh no,
and push the gas.
no.
Well, who was in the car when you...
Well, Patsy Fitzgerald was in the car. Had the she for some reason she knew a lot about cars.
Ah, and she was helping you drive? She told you what to do?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's great to have a girlfriend like that.
Mm-hmm.
Were any of your other friends in the car with you? Geraldine?
No. I can't talk anymore, Joe. Oh,
Do you remember him bringing home the Buick?
yeah, they brought it home, and it came from, I think it was, I want to say Taylor, but it wasn't Taylor. It was something like that.
Taylor, Oklahoma? Or some place like that?
No. It was
Tyler, Texas?
Tyler. No, Poto. It was in the town in Poto.
Right, but Taylor near Poto? Or someplace like Taylor?
Uh-huh.
Well, it had to be big enough to have a car sales store.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Joe, I just.
oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
I don't know.
Trigger your feet. It's an analysis you can do. Yeah.
What's that?
Let go. Let go of the. Let go.
Where are you? Where are you, Mother? What do you
Shoot
see?
them one at a time.
What do you see, Mother?
I was shooting the balls.
That's cool.